The pentagram. Perhaps the most recognizable occult symbol, the pentagram, is one of the most misunderstood symbols in history. Most people associate it with dark magic or satanic practices, but its origins tell a very different story. The pentagram dates back over 5,000 years. Ancient Mesopotamians used it as a symbol of protection. The 5 points represented the 5 visible planets: Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. In ancient Greece, the Pythagoreans saw mathematical perfection in the pentagram. They believed it represented the golden ratio and the harmony of the universe. During medieval times, Christians adopted the pentagram as a symbol of the 5 wounds of Christ. It was actually considered a holy symbol, appearing in churches and religious art. So, when did things change? In the 19th century, the symbol's meaning inverted. When the pentagram was drawn upside down, with 2 points facing upward, it took on darker associations. Occultist Eliphas Levi connected the inverted pentagram with the goat of Mendes. This imagery was later adopted by various occult groups. Today, the upright pentagram is used by Wiccans and pagans as a symbol of protection and the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. The Eye of Providence. Next, we have a symbol you have definitely seen before, on the US dollar bill, album covers, and throughout popular culture. The Eye of Providence, also known as the all-seeing eye, shows an eye often surrounded by rays of light, sometimes enclosed in a triangle. It represents divine watchfulness, the idea that a higher power observes everything. The symbol has roots in ancient Egypt, where the Eye of Horus represented protection, royal power, and good health. But the modern Eye of Providence is primarily a Christian symbol that emerged during the Renaissance. The triangle represents the Holy Trinity, while the eye symbolizes God's omniscience. Why is it on the dollar bill? And what about conspiracy theories? The Eye of Providence appears on the Great Seal of the United States, adopted in 1782. The founders chose it to represent divine providence watching over the new nation. There is no historical evidence connecting it to the Illuminati or secret societies at the time of its creation. However, because the symbol appears in Masonic imagery and various fraternal organizations, it has become a focal point for conspiracy theories about hidden powers and secret world governments. The reality is that the symbol has been used by multiple groups throughout history, each attributing their own meaning to it. The hexagram. The hexagram, or 6-pointed star, is widely recognized as the Star of David, a symbol of Judaism and Jewish identity. But this symbol appears in many mystical traditions long before its association with Judaism. In medieval alchemy, the hexagram was called the Seal of Solomon. It was believed to give the biblical King Solomon power over demons and spirits. Alchemists used it to represent the union of opposites. The upward triangle symbolized fire and masculinity, while the downward triangle represented water and femininity. This merging of opposites was central to alchemical philosophy, aiming to achieve balance and transformation. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, the hexagram appears as a symbol of spiritual union. The Anahata chakra, or heart chakra, is often depicted with a hexagram at its center. Western occultists adopted the hexagram extensively. It appears in ceremonial magic as a symbol of protection and spiritual authority. Occultist Aleister Crowley called it the hexagram of divine union. This symbol demonstrates how the same geometric form can carry vastly different meanings across cultures and time periods. Context is everything when interpreting occult symbols. The ouroboros. Now one of the most ancient and profound symbols, the ouroboros. Picture a serpent or dragon eating its own tail, forming a perfect circle. The oldest known representation comes from ancient Egypt around 1600 BCE. It appeared in the enigmatic Book of the Netherworld, symbolizing the sun god, Ra's journey through the underworld. What does it mean? The ouroboros represents cycles: birth and death, creation and destruction, the eternal return. It's the ultimate symbol of infinity and wholeness. Alchemists adopted the ouroboros as a central symbol. They saw it as representing the cyclical nature of their work, breaking down materials and reconstituting them, seeking transformation and perfection. The alchemical motto, "One is all," perfectly captures this concept. In Gnostic traditions, the ouroboros represented the world soul, the unity of all things in nature. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, saw the ouroboros as representing the integration of opposites, the conscious and unconscious, the self-consuming and renewing itself in the process of individuation. Today, the ouroboros appears everywhere, from corporate logos to tattoos. It resonates with people because it captures something fundamental about existence. Everything is connected, everything returns, everything transforms. Sigils and their power. Let's talk about sigils, perhaps the most personalized form of occult symbols. A sigil is a symbol created with specific intent. Unlike traditional symbols passed down through history, sigils are designed by practitioners for particular purposes. The concept gained popularity through medieval grimoires, or magical textbooks. These books contained sigils for angels, demons, and spirits, each entity having its own unique signature. In the early 20th century, artist and occultist Austin Osman Spare revolutionized sigil magic. He developed a technique where you write out your intention, remove repeating letters, and combine the remaining letters into an abstract design. Here's how it works. Let's say your intention is, I will find creativity. You'd remove duplicate letters, leaving something like WLFNDCREATVY. Then you arrange these letters into a unique symbol. The psychological principle behind sigil magic is fascinating. By transforming your conscious desire into an abstract symbol, you supposedly bypass the critical mind and embed the intention into your subconscious. Whether you believe in magical thinking or view it as psychological programming, sigils represent a democratization of occult symbols. Anyone can create one. No special knowledge or training required. Modern chaos magic practitioners use sigils extensively, treating magic as a flexible system where belief itself is the tool. The ankh. The ankh is one of the most recognizable symbols from ancient Egypt. This cross with a loop at the top appears in countless Egyptian artworks, usually held by gods and pharaohs. What does it represent? The ankh is the hieroglyphic symbol for life, more specifically, eternal life and the life-giving power of the universe. The loop at the top has been interpreted as representing the sun rising over the horizon, or the union of masculine and feminine principles. The vertical line represents the path of the sun, while the horizontal arms represent the horizon. Egyptian gods are often depicted holding the ankh to someone's lips, symbolizing the breath of life. It appears in tombs, temples, and on amulets worn for protection. Early Christians in Egypt, called Copts, adopted the ankh and transformed it into the Christian cross. The symbol's association with eternal life made it a natural fit for Christian symbolism. In modern occultism, particularly in movements influenced by Egyptian mythology, the ankh represents divine life force, vitality, and immortality. It has become popular in jewelry and tattoos as a symbol of life affirmation and spiritual connection. The ankh reminds us that many occult symbols were originally religious symbols. The line between religion and occultism has always been blurry, depending on perspective and cultural context. The triple moon. The triple moon symbol consists of 3 moons, a waxing crescent, a full moon, and a waning crescent. This symbol represents the triple goddess, a concept found in neo-pagan and Wiccan traditions. The 3 phases correspond to the 3 stages of womanhood: maiden, mother, and crone. The waxing moon represents youth, new beginnings, and potential. The full moon embodies fertility, fulfillment, and power. The waning moon signifies wisdom, maturity, and transition. While the triple goddess concept has ancient roots in various mythologies, like the Greek fates or the Norns of Norse tradition, the specific triple moon symbol is relatively modern. It gained popularity in the 20th century with the neo-pagan revival. The symbol connects to lunar magic and the belief that the moon's phases influence spiritual and magical work. Many practitioners align their rituals with lunar cycles, believing different phases carry different energies. Beyond its religious significance, the triple moon resonates as a symbol of feminine power, cycles, and the multifaceted nature of existence. We all go through phases, transformations, and returns. The Seal of Solomon. The Seal of Solomon deserves special attention as one of the most powerful symbols in ceremonial magic. According to legend, King Solomon possessed a magical ring engraved with a special symbol that gave him authority over demons and spirits. This ring, bearing the Seal of Solomon, allowed him to command supernatural entities to do his bidding, including building the legendary Temple of Solomon. The seal appears in various forms across different traditions. In some versions, it's a hexagram, in others, it's a pentagram. Some depict it as an 8-pointed star with intricate geometric patterns. Medieval grimoires, especially the Key of Solomon and the Lesser Key of Solomon, describe the seal in great detail. These texts claim the symbol can compel spirits, offer protection from evil, and grant the bearer divine authority. In Islamic tradition, Solomon is considered a prophet who controlled jinns and demons through divine power. The seal appears in Middle Eastern talismans and amulets as protection against evil spirits. Kabbalistic traditions incorporate the Seal of Solomon into complex mystical diagrams representing divine names and angelic hierarchies. The symbol becomes a doorway to understanding the structure of creation itself. What makes the Seal of Solomon particularly fascinating is how it bridges multiple religious and magical traditions. Jewish, Christian, and Islamic sources all reference it, though with different interpretations. Modern practitioners of ceremonial magic still use variations of the seal in rituals. Whether viewed as spiritual technology or symbolic psychology, the seal represents humanity's desire to interface with forces beyond the physical world. Conclusion. So, what have we learned about occult symbols? First, these symbols are rarely as sinister as popular culture makes them seem. Most originated as religious or philosophical symbols representing profound concepts like unity, protection, and transformation. Second, context matters enormously. The same symbol can mean completely different things to different cultures and time periods. The pentagram can be Christian or pagan. The hexagram can be alchemical or religious. Third, symbols are powerful because they communicate complex ideas instantly. They bypass language and speak directly to something deeper in human consciousness. Whether you view occult symbols as magical tools, psychological triggers, or simply fascinating cultural artifacts, they offer a window into humanity's eternal quest for meaning. These symbols remind us that humans have always sought to understand the mysteries of existence, to connect with something greater, and to encode wisdom in forms that transcend words. What's your favorite occult symbol, and what does it mean to you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration into hidden symbols and secret meanings, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. We have many more mysteries to uncover together. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.